Justin Verlander's car collection finally revealed. As celebrity car collections go, Verlander might be the most criminally overlooked car collector there is. From convertibles to sports cars and even custom-built classics, the legendary pitcher has got it all. He's got like half a dozen Ferrari, including 2 Ferraris he shares with his wife. Well then, without further ado, let's get to it. Number 1. Aston Martin DBS. Verlander has got enough Ferraris to make an entire video out of, but we're not doing that. So, how about we start with the little bit of variety the baseball player still has in his collection? An Aston Martin DBS. This is a ride that needs so little introduction, all thanks to its iconic look. The kind of design we've come to expect from Aston Martin, really. Time for a little history lesson. First introduced back in 2018, the luxury Grand Tourer, available as a convertible or coupe, replaced the second-generation Vanquish. Here's more you probably didn't know. Verlander got this bad boy when he was sidelined with an elbow injury in 2020 and 2021. And there's no doubt that getting this superleggera made him at least feel better about not being able to play. Doubt that? A peek under this beauty's hood should change your mind. Sporting a front mid-engine setup, this guy comes with a 5.2-liter twin-turbocharged V12 engine, capable of up to 725 horsepower and 664 pound-feet of torque, coupled with an 8-speed automatic transmission. Thanks to the powertrain on this bad boy, it would have Verlander absolutely flying down the highway, reaching a top speed of up to 211 miles per hour. And it also has great acceleration, going from 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds. Definitely the kind of ride that gives you a load off when you hit the open road. What's better is that Aston Martin DBS isn't one you'll see too often, either because production for each of the different editions has been reduced to hundreds or sometimes dozens of units. Well, the Aston Martin is a special ride, but for Verlander and his wife, of course, it's no Ferrari. So, stay put to find out the couple's best Ferraris in an epic 2 Ferrari finale. But before that, how about some more varieties? Number 2. Lamborghini Aventador Roadster. Not a Ferrari, but Verlander still kept up with Italian flair when he splurged really big on this Lambo. How big? Well, $400,000 big back in 2012. And when you find out just what this bad boy is capable of, the price would be so much worth it. The MLB pitcher ordered the Aventador Roadster in 2012 to reward himself after he'd earned the designation of American League Most Valuable Player. However, even after paying in full for this beauty, he didn't actually get to take it out for a spin until 2014. 2 whole years after. Verlander bought the Lamborghini through a Michigan dealership when he was still with the Detroit Tigers. When it eventually arrived, he had to transport the supercar all the way to Florida so he could drive it into spring training. Can't blame the man though. After waiting 2 years for a $400,000 Lambo, you'd also want to drive it as much as you can. And a quick look at some of its specs should explain why Verlander had to ditch his love for Ferraris for a second. This high-performance supercar has an aggressive styling and a removable top that really makes sure you feel every bit of the open road while you break the sound barrier. This orange-colored Aventador Roadster features a hefty 6.5-liter V12 engine and a 7-speed auto-shift manual transmission with an overdrive function that puts out more than 700 horsepower, with 500 pound-feet of torque. Still not more than Verlander's Aston Martin DBS though. But here's where it surpasses the superleggera. This Italian beauty boasts a top speed of 218 miles per hour and can go from 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. Yeah, all Verlander's rides have one thing in common. They can all go really, really fast. And speaking of going fast, you've waited long enough. It's about time we break out a few Ferraris. Number 3. Ferrari 458 Italia. Remember those Ferraris Verlander shares with his wife? Yeah, this isn't one of them, but it's one ride the baseball player likes quite a lot. He's had the 2011 Ferrari 458 Italia since 2013, which means that while he waited for his Aventador Roadster to eventually show up, he splurged on yet another Ferrari. There's just no separating this man from his Ferrari. The 458 Italia is far from the most expensive Ferrari Verlander has sitting in his garage, as he spent around $250,000 for this guy. Nevertheless, the beautiful high-powered sports car remains one of the baseball player's favorites, and you're about to see just why. Thanks to its rear-mounted 4.5-liter V8 and 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, the 458 Italia can deliver up to 570 horsepower and 398 pound-feet of torque. Definitely not the most we've seen so far in Verlander's garage. And speed-wise, it also doesn't match its Lamborghini counterpart or the Aston Martin, reaching a top speed of 202 miles per hour. It also doesn't take the 458 Italia too long to have you absolutely flying, going from 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Yeah, there are cars in Verlander's collection that pack more of a punch. So you're probably wondering why he loves this one so much. 2 words: sentimental value. Here's yet another history lesson for you. The 458 was the first Ferrari Verlander got after making it big in MLB. He just bagged a contract worth millions of dollars. So the time was right to indulge in that dream car he'd always wanted. Of course, this seems like forever ago with all the Ferraris he's got parked in his garage, but it still remains a special one. Well, there's a whole lot more Ferraris from where this one came, so let's put the pedal to the metal and talk more Ferraris. Number 4. Ferrari 550 Maranello. Verlander doesn't just have a thing for Ferraris, no. He's got a thing for Ferraris manufactured in low numbers, making it more than just owning fast cars, but owning rarities. And the Ferrari 550 Maranello fits this bill perfectly. During the 550 Maranello production years between 1996 and 2002, the Italian automakers produced only 3,083 550 Maranello models. But besides being a collector's model, this one goes fast, just like the others. The 550 Maranello powertrain is definitely not on the level of the supercars we've seen so far, probably because it was produced so many years before the others were. And yet, the 550 Maranello still holds its own in Verlander's car collection. That's Ferrari for you. Under its hood lies a naturally aspirated 5.5-liter V12 engine with a 6-speed manual transmission, capable of putting out 478 horsepower and 421 pound-feet of torque, with an impressive 0 to 60 acceleration time of just 4.2 seconds, a jaw-dropping time for its era. This beast can also reach a top speed of 199 miles per hour, another pretty impressive feat nonetheless. The 550 Maranello is yet another ride in Verlander's garage that holds sentimental value to him. The pitcher actually allows his dad to drive this one, and probably a few others, but mostly this, which, believe it or not, is more than appropriate. Why? Well, of course Verlander's love for Ferraris didn't just kindle overnight. He's been a Ferrari guy since he was a kid, and while his father wasn't crazy rich, he would still find some great deals on the used lots. When Verlander made it to high school, he'd drive his dad's 94 Corvette every now and then. Yeah, not a Ferrari, but back home, he'd have Ferrari posters plastered all over his bedroom wall. So his dream of being a great baseball player also meant he could fulfill his dreams of owning more Ferraris than his garage could hold. So, these days, letting his dad cruise around in his 550 Maranello is one pretty cool full circle moment if you'd agree. We're still a couple of cars away from our Big 2 Ferrari finale, so sit tight. There are a couple of varieties in Verlander's garage that will pretty much have the San Francisco Giants pitcher questioning his love for Ferraris. Number 5. Ford GT. We've definitely established that Verlander loves himself a good Ferrari, but he's also kind of a Ford guy too. He's got 2 luxurious Fords that fits right in with the theme of his collection, fast and rare. The Ford GT is one of them. In fact, not to exaggerate, but the Ford GT might have been the crowning moment of Verlander's multi-million-dollar car collection. Unlike we've seen with any of the cars Verlander has in his garage, he was extra excited after getting his 2017 Ford GT. So excited that he made an Instagram post about it, celebrating his delivery after he'd bought it. "It's here!" he posted like a kid who had just gotten a new toy for Christmas. Well, for a man who has more Ferraris than he knows he does, that was quite the reaction. But what's even more interesting is that his reaction actually checks. Well, the Ford GT is as rare as they come. He was one of only 500 people to claim ownership of the Ford GT despite well over 7,000 people applying. You heard right, 7,000. In fact, John Cena, who also has quite the collection, was one of the lucky 500. And to put it in perspective just what the Ford GT is all about, this supercar cost Verlander around $500,000. Wondering why over 7,000 people would queue, waiting to spend $500,000 on a ride? A quick peek under the Ford GT's hood, and you'll know. This beauty sports a 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 that's good for up to 647 horsepower and 550 pound-feet of torque. With a powertrain this powerful, the Ford GT can absolutely zoom off to a top speed of, drumroll please, 216 miles per hour. A top speed eclipsed by only one car in his collection so far, his Aventador Roadster. It will also go from 0 to 60 in just 3 seconds. Now you see why folks were queuing up to spend $500,000 on this beast. Verlander's model also looks just perfect in a liquid ice blue paint job. The Ford GT may not have the Ferrari logo on it, but it fits right into his collection. And it isn't the only mind-blowing Ford in his collection. Number 6. 1967 Ford Mustang Eleanor. While the Ford GT is definitely quite the car, he's also got a special Ford from at least 5 decades earlier. This beauty right here. Eleanor is a weird name for a car, but for movie lovers, it probably wouldn't be. If you've watched Gone in 60 Seconds, Eleanor is one of the featured cars in the blockbuster. Well, Verlander is probably a big Gone in 60 Seconds fan because he wanted to add an Eleanor so badly to his collection. Now, here's a cheeky little plot twist for you. The Eleanor isn't actually a real car. It was just made for the movie. So how does someone add a fake car to a real garage? He custom builds it. The 1967 Ford Mustang that Verlander transformed into Eleanor was purchased in a much less impressive condition than you're seeing right now. In fact, the ride wasn't even bought by Verlander himself. It's his father who got it for him as a reward for getting into college. So, the San Francisco Giants pitcher has since then slowly but surely reinvigorated the ride to mimic the one from the movie. While not 100% movie accurate though, this 67 Mustang is near unrecognizable. Its taillights, gas cap, and side mirrors aren't exactly the same, but it's close enough to make Verlander happy. Now, time for the prize reveal. The total customizing cost is about $200,000. Well, unfortunately, we can't give you anything accurate on how capable this replica is, but for $200,000, it's gotta pack quite the punch under its hood. Plus, he's really proud of this bad boy because he has it parked right next to his $500,000 Ford GT. They're resting together like it's supposed to be. Family, Verlander said in an Instagram post about his cars. It definitely wouldn't be a reach to say Verlander is really proud of both his Fords. Now, that's enough variety. And with that, we've reached our epic two Ferrari finale. The two Ferraris Verlander and his wife Elizabeth Upton share. You better strap in, because this is going to be quite the ride. Number 7. Ferrari Enzo. This is one Ferrari model every petrolhead knows, and it isn't only because it was launched quite recently. The Ferrari Enzo is the peak of Ferrari designs, and it really should be given that it bears the name Enzo Ferrari in honor of the automaker's founder. The Enzo is everything Verlander loves in a car. For starters, it's a Ferrari. It's super fast and it's extremely rare. Yep, a limited production of just around 400 units makes it one of the most valuable Ferraris out there, and the couple own one. Under the Enzo's hood beats a naturally aspirated 6-liter V12 engine that produces about 651 horsepower and 485 pound-feet of torque. Impressive. But there are still beasts in his collection that pack a lot more of a punch. Located in a longitudinal mid-position, this hunk of metal under its hood is paired with a 6-speed F1 automated manual transmission. All of these work in tandem to make the Enzo one of the fastest cars in Verlander's garage, sharing a top speed of 218 miles per hour with the Aventador Roadster. It however falls to the Aventador Roadster in acceleration, going from 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds, compared to the Lambo's 2.9 seconds acceleration time. The Ferrari Enzo is a special car, and even its interior was designed to embody that, actually featuring a race car-inspired design with carbon fiber seats, a steering wheel with a whole lot of buttons to set the car up, and an exposed carbon fiber dashboard, prioritizing a minimalist approach. Which is rather shocking because that's not the Ferrari way. That still takes nothing away from this special sports car. And now, for our big finish. Another Ferrari Verlander shares with his wife and the actual fastest car in the baseball player's garage. Bet you didn't expect to find a car faster than the Aventador Roadster in his collection. Well, what can we say? We saved the best for last. Finally. Number 8. Ferrari LaFerrari. Double the Ferrari name, double the power with this bad boy. Launched way back in 2013, the LaFerrari is a high-performance hybrid with a futuristic and aerodynamic design. From just looking at it, you know you're in for quite the ride with this guy. With a wide grille and flowing lines, this Ferrari model is an example of the automaker's ability to create advanced and innovative designs. When unveiled in 2013, it was Ferrari's first production car to feature a hybrid system. And to make the LaFerrari even more iconic, it's limited edition, with only 499 units ever manufactured. And don't even bother asking why they couldn't just make 500 units. Well, the LaFerrari fits the theme of Verlander's car collection, so you know he had to get one of these 499 units. The LaFerrari is an absolute beauty, the kind even Ferrari can't recreate. Sleek profile, design striking, muscular wheel arches, low bonnet, and extremely rare, a true masterpiece. And for a Ferrari lover like Verlander, he just couldn't miss out on this guy. But besides its design and availability, the LaFerrari is still quite the car. Checking its V12 engine, it is designed to provide exceptional performance, and to do so with great efficiency. It has a displacement of 6.3 liters, striking a balance between size and power. The LaFerrari's engine is rear mid-mounted and is paired with a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. Enough with that. Let's find out how fast this guy can go. The LaFerrari will peel the skin right off your face, accelerating from 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds, a new record for Verlander's collection, and reaching a top speed of 220 miles per hour, another record in Verlander's collection. The LaFerrari is the kind of ride a true Ferrari lover would have sitting in his garage. a true masterpiece of an automobile, and the kind of car you've got to share with the missus. Well, 8 incredible supercars later, and we've reached the end of one of the most exciting car collections out there. And don't be fooled, Verlander has more than just these cars in his collection, but these guys are by far the most exciting. Verlander's Virginia mansion has a garage space of just 8, but the picture definitely has more than 8 cars. There's gotta be a secret garage someplace, an absolute treasure cove for you petrol heads. Let us know what you think in the comment section, guys, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We've got so many more epic garage tours for you.